Welcome to the BrainyX channel. In this lesson, we are going to look at one of the most important ways to factorize using HCF. HCF stands for highest common factor. It simply means the biggest factor that all the terms have in common. You may also hear some people call it the GCF, which stands for greatest common factor. They mean the same thing, but in this video, I'm going to use the term HCF. When we factorize using the HCF, we take out the highest common factor and rewrite the expression as a product. So instead of writing the terms separately, we rewrite the expression with brackets. Before we do the examples, let's quickly look at the basic idea. When a question says factorize, the first thing we should check is whether the expression has an HCF. This is important because taking out the HCF is usually the first step when we factorize an expression fully. It does not mean that the HCF will always be the only method we need, but it is the first method that we should try. If there is an HCF, we take it out first. So we are looking for the biggest factor that is common to all the terms. And remember, the terms are separated by plus signs and minus signs. For example, this expression has 3 terms, and they are separated by a plus and a minus sign. When we factorize using the HCF, we can follow the steps you see on the screen. I'm not going to go through each step in detail just yet, because we will use these steps properly when we work through the examples. For now, just remember the main idea. We find the HCF, we take it out, and then divide each term by the HCF to find what stays inside the bracket. Now let's go through 3 examples together and see how these steps work. Example 1, we have to factorize fully this expression. Now let me write it down and then we will work it out step by step. For step 1, we have to count the terms. And this expression has 3 terms, 8a squared b, 12a, and negative 4ab. Remember, terms are always separated by plus and minus signs, and this expression has a plus sign and it's got a minus sign. So, step 1 is done. For step 2, we have to take out the biggest common number, if there are any. To find the number part of the HCF, we have to focus on the coefficients and the constant numbers in the expression. Now, this expression only has coefficients, and they are 8, 12, and this negative 4. We do not need to worry about this negative 4 sign for now because we are only looking for the biggest number that can divide into all 3 these coefficients without a remainder. For this example, that number that can divide into all 3 these coefficients without a remainder is 4. But if you don't know how to work out this number in your head, you can list the factors of the coefficients. Let me show you how. The factors of 8 are 1, 2, 4, and 8. The factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. And the factors of 4, remember, I'm not worried about this negative sign for now. I'm only looking for the factors. They are 1, 2, and 4. The biggest factor that appears in all 3 these lists is 4. So that means that the number part of my HCF is 4. Step 2 is done. For step 3, we only take out variables that appear in every term. Now this first term has an A and a B. The second term only has an A, and the third term has an A and a B. The variable A appears in every term, but the B does not appear in every term because this middle term doesn't have a B. So we can take out an A, but we cannot take out a B. So the third step is done. For step 4, we have to use the lowest exponent for shared variables. Now we want to know, what is a shared variable? A shared variable is a variable that appears in every term. And in this case, it is the A that already forms part of our HCF. It's not the B because there's no B in this middle term. So let's find the exponents or the powers for the A. We've got the A squared, we've got a to the power of 1 and a to the power of 1. Remember, when a variable doesn't show an exponent, it means that variable is to the power of 1. So this a that we wrote here as part of our HCF will stay to the power of 1, but I'm not going to write that exponent. So step 4 is done. For step 5, we have to put everything together that we took out to form the HCF. As you can see, we already wrote it down here on the side. We took out a 4 and we took out an A. So our HCF is 4A. So step 5 is done. Step 6, we have to write this HCF outside the bracket. So I write equals 4A and I make a bracket. So step 6 is done. Step 7 is to divide each term, which is this one, and this one, and this one, by the HCF, which is 4A. I've got 8a squared b, and I have to divide it by 4a. So let's do it piece by piece. I've got 8 divided by 4 gives me 2. A squared divided by a gives me a to the power of 1. Let me show you how I got to that answer. If I've got a squared and I divide it by a, the exponent law says whenever my bases are the same and I divide, I can subtract my exponents. So 2 minus 1 equals a to the power of 1. And that's where I got this a to the power of 1 from. I don't have a b to divide by, so this b, I just bring it down, it stays. So this first term is done. Next up, we have this positive 12a. So I've got this 12 divided by 4 gives us positive 3. A divided by a, they cancel each other out. So if I've got a divided by a, they essentially cancel each other out, so I don't write anything. There's no b, so the second left over is this positive 3. So this is done. And now I've got this negative 4ab. And negative 4 divided by 4 gives us negative 1. Remember, let me show you negative 4 over 4. These two cancel each other out, but this negative stays. So that is why we've got this negative 1. A divided by a cancels out, so I don't write anything down because it is a 1, and I'm not going to write this 1 down. And b, it just stays, so it is negative 1b, so you can actually take out that 1 if you want to. So this is my final answer. Step 8 is optional. You can check your answer by multiplying. So let's just quickly do that. I've got 4a times with 2ab gives us 8a squared b. 4 times 2 is 8, a times a is a squared, and this b that comes down. Then we've got 4a times 3 gives us positive 12a. And 4a times with negative b gives us negative 4ab. So this answer is correct. For example 2, we have to factorize this expression. So I'm going to write it down, and then we will follow the steps. All right. Step 1 is to count all the terms. Now, this expression has 2 terms. It is 20x to the power 4y3 and negative 12x squared y5. So, first step is done. Next up, we have to take out the biggest common number. Now, to find that, I have to look at the coefficients and the constant terms. And looking at this expression, I can see we have only coefficients, and they are this 20 and this negative 12. There are no constant terms in this expression. So we have to find the biggest common number that can be divided by this 20 and this negative 12 without a remainder. And that will form the number part of our HCF. Now, I know that the number part for our HCF is 4. But if you don't know how to work it out, the best way is to find the factors of the coefficients. So for 20, the factors are 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. And the factors for negative 12, remember we're only going to look at the 12 for now, are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Now I can easily see that this 4 is the highest number that is found in both these factor sets. So that's why I could say that 4 will form part of my HCF. So my second step is done. Now for step 3, we are going to take out only the variables that appear in every term. So let's have a look here. I've got an x in this term, and I've got an x in this term. I've got a y in this term, and I've got a y in this term. So that means I can write x and I can write a y as part of my HCF, or my highest common factor, because the x and the y appears in both the terms of this expression. So step 3 is done. For step 4, we have to use the lowest exponent for my shared variables. Now remember, the shared variables we've already written down as part of my HCF, and they are the x and the y, because they appear in each of the terms in this expression. So let's find the lowest exponent. I've got an x to the power of 4 and an x squared. Now this x squared is the lowest. So I can add a 2 for my exponent here, because this exponent of 2 is now the lowest exponent for my x. Now let's look at the y's. Here I've got y cubed and I've got y to the power of 5. Now again, here you can see that this exponent here is the lowest, so I can write this down. This now means I have found my lowest exponent for each of my variables. For step 5, we have to put everything I took out together to get my HCF, or my highest common factor. And yes, I've already got it here because I've decided to write everything on the side. So my highest common factor for this expression is 4x squared y 3. So I'm going to write this HCF outside my bracket, which is 4x squared y cubed. And I'm going to open my bracket. So step 6 is done. For step 7, we have to divide each term, which is this term and this term, by our HCF, which is this term. So let's take it piece by piece. I've got this 20 divided by 4, and both of them are positive. So 20 divided by 4 gives us 5. I've got this x to the power of 4 divided by x squared. That gives me x squared. And how did I get that? I've got this x to the power of 4 divided by x squared. And my exponent law says whenever my bases are the same and I divide, I can subtract my exponent. So 4 minus 2 gives me 2. Now I've got this y cubed divided by y cubed. Now they cancel each other out. I've got 1 and I don't write down the 1. Let me just show you. I've got y cubed divided by y cubed. They cancel each other out, or 3 minus 3 is 0, and y to the power of 0 is 1. Okay, so my first term is done. Next up, we have this term, and it's very important to include this negative sign as well. So I'm going to take negative 12 divided by positive 4 gives us negative 3, because a negative divided by a positive is negative. I've got x squared divided by x squared. Again, they cancel each other out. It's 1. I'm not going to write that down. And then I've got y to the power of 5 divided by y cubed. That gives us y squared. Let me show you. I've got y to the power of 5 divided by y cubed. My bases are the same. I'm dividing. That means I can subtract my exponents. And 5 minus 3 gives us y squared. So that is my final answer. So step 7 is done. Now step 8 is optional, and that is to check by multiplying back. So you will take this monomial here, and you will multiply it with each of the terms that's inside this bracket to check and see if you get back to this original expression over here. Example 3 is the last example for this video. I have to factorize fully this expression over here. So let's write it down and then we will work from this. Okay, my first step that I have to follow is to check how many terms we are working with. Now I can see I'm working with 3 terms over here because they are separated by plus and minus signs. Okay, for step 2, we have to take out the biggest common number. That means I have to find all the coefficients and all the constant numbers. Now, looking at this expression, I see that we only have coefficients, and they are 3, this -5 and a +10. So what I have to do is I have to find the highest number that can be divided by all three terms without a remainder. Now I know that there is no number that I can divide with all three of these terms that is the same and that doesn't have a remainder. Let me show you why I say that. The factors of 3 are 1 and 3. The factors of 5 are 1 and 5. And the factors of 10 are 1, 2, 5, and 10. Now, although the 5 and the 10 has 5 as a factor, there is no 5 as a factor for 3. So 5 cannot be the highest common factor. The only other number that appear more than once is this 1. So 1 is actually the highest common factor. Now, we normally don't write this 1 down as part of our HCF because multiplying or dividing by 1 does not change the expression. But for the sake of this example, I will write down this 1 because it is a common factor. So next up, we will take out only the variables that appear in all three of the terms. So let's look at the x's. I've got an x in this term, an x in this term, and an x in this term. So that means I have a shared variable of x in all three terms. Next up, let's look at the y's. I've got a y here, I've got a y here, but there's no y here, so I cannot write y down. Step 3 is done. Next step is to use the lowest exponent for my shared variables. Now I know already that x is my only shared variable because that's the only variable that appears in all three of these terms. Now let's look at the exponents for x. First up, we've got a 2, I've got a 6, and I've got a 3. So immediately I can see that 2 is the lowest exponent. So that is the one that I'm going to write down. So that is step 4 done. Now I take everything that I took out for my HCF and I write it together, and I've already done it as part of my working here on the side. Now let's take this HCF, which is essentially x squared only, because this one, it doesn't really matter if it's there or not. But for the sake of this example, I will put it down. And now I open my bracket. And now the next step is to take all my terms, which are these, and I have to divide it by my HCF, which is this 1x squared. Now look at this. If I take this 3 and I divide it by 1, I still get 3. Even if I didn't write anything down. I already said in previous videos, if there is no coefficient in front of a variable, no number in front of a variable, it means there is an invisible 1 there. So to write the 1 down, not to write the 1 down, doesn't make a difference. Okay, so the 3 divided by 1, it still gives me 3. That's why I said here, it doesn't make sense to write it down because the multiplying or the dividing by 1 does not change the expression. Okay, next up, we've got x squared divided by x squared, and they cancel each other out. I don't write anything down for the x, and y to the power of 4 divided by 1 gives us y to the power of 4. So this term is done. Next up, I've got negative, don't forget that negative, 5x to the power of 6y squared. Negative 5 divided by 1 gives us negative 5. I've got x to the power of 6 divided by x squared gives us x to the power of 4. Because 6 minus 2 gives us 4. My bases are the same. I'm dividing, so I can subtract my exponents. And here I've got y squared divided by 1, because there's no other y variable here. I can just bring this y squared down. So this term is done. And now I'm left with this positive 10x cubed. Positive 10 divided by 1 gives us positive 10. And x cubed divided by x squared gives us x. 3 minus 2 is 1, and I don't write that 1 down. And I am done. You can do step 8 if you want to, and that is by taking this monomial and multiply it into every term in this trinomial. And that's it for this lesson. In the next video, we will still factorize using the highest common factor method. But in the next video, that highest common factor will be a bracket. But I will show you exactly how we will do that. See you in the next one.